Close your eyes now and let the weight of today settle into the pillow beneath your head. Feel how your body naturally seeks this moment of release, this sacred pause between the effort of day and the mystery of night. In this gentle darkness, something profound begins to shift, not through force or striving, but through the simple act of allowing. Your breath finds its own rhythm now, deeper and slower with each exhale, like a river that has been dammed suddenly finding its path to the sea. Your consciousness begins to flow toward a deeper knowing. Tonight, you are not learning about abundance. You are remembering it. You are not seeking wealth. You are returning to the frequency where wealth seeks you. The quantum field that surrounds you, invisible yet more real than the walls of your room, responds not to your desperation but to your alignment. It reads the subtle vibrations of your being, like a tuning fork reads sound. When you vibrate with authentic service, with genuine care for others, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth, the field begins to orchestrate circumstances in your favor. Feel yourself now becoming that tuning fork, not the harsh, metallic striking of demand, but the pure, sustained note of someone who has found their frequency. Your nervous system, which has carried the tension of scarcity for so long, begins to soften into a new possibility. Each breath releases an old story about struggle, about having to push and force your way to success. In the spaces between your heartbeats, a gentle transformation is already beginning. Your subconscious mind, that vast ocean beneath the waves of your everyday thoughts, is listening. It hears not your words about wanting more clients, but the quality of peace that emanates from your being when you remember who you truly are. Someone whose gifts are needed, whose presence matters, whose authentic offering creates value in the world. The clients you seek are not strangers to be conquered or convinced. They are souls already connected to you through invisible threads of resonance, waiting for the moment when your frequency becomes clear enough, steady enough, authentic enough to register in their awareness. This is not about marketing tactics or perfect strategies. This is about the magnetic pull of alignment. Tonight, as your body settles deeper into rest, imagine yourself as a lighthouse, not straining to reach ships in the distance, but simply being what you are, a steady beacon whose light naturally guides those who need safe harbor. Your authentic gifts, your genuine care, your unique way of serving these create a frequency that travels through the quantum field like ripples on a still pond. Feel how different this is from the exhausting energy of chasing, of proving, of desperately trying to attract attention. This is the energy of a flower that doesn't chase the bee but simply blooms so fully, so authentically, that pollination becomes inevitable. Your clients are not a problem to be solved, but a natural result of your authentic blooming. As sleep begins to call you deeper, let this truth settle into your bones. Abundance flows not from force, but from alignment. Your body knows this ancient wisdom. Your heart beats with the rhythm of this universal law. Your heart beats with the rhythm of creation itself, each pulse sending ripples through the quantum field that surrounds you. As you settle deeper into this moment, feel how each heartbeat carries more than blood. It carries intention, possibility, the very essence of who you are becoming. In this sacred space between sleeping and waking, you discover that wealth consciousness isn't about wanting more. It's about observing yourself as already abundant. Like a scientist peering through a microscope, your awareness has the power to collapse infinite possibilities into a single beautiful reality. This is the observer effect in its most intimate form. When you witness yourself as prosperous, the universe conspires to match that vision. Feel your nervous system settling into this new identity. Your body recognizes truth when it encounters it, and abundance is your natural state. Like roots finding rich soil after years of drought, every cell begins to relax into worthiness. The old patterns of scarcity, those familiar loops of not enough that once felt so real, start to dissolve like morning mist. Your subconscious mind has been protecting you with old stories, whispering warnings about money, success, and what you deserve. But here, in this quantum space of pure possibility, those protective mechanisms soften. They were never your enemy. They were simply outdated security systems, scanning for threats that no longer exist. As your breath deepens, notice how your heart rhythm changes. This isn't just relaxation. This is recalibration. Your nervous system is learning a new frequency, one that matches prosperity rather than survival. Each exhale releases the trauma of financial fear. Each inhale draws in the quantum frequency of abundance. The observer effect whispers its truth. Reality bends toward your deepest beliefs about yourself. When you observe yourself through the eyes of love rather than judgment, when you witness your potential rather than your limitations, something profound shifts in the field around you. The universe begins to reorganize itself to match your new perspective. Your body holds the memory of every ancestor who survived scarcity, but it also holds the blueprint of your highest potential. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you're choosing which memory to activate. Feel how your heart space expands with each gentle breath. This expansion isn't just metaphorical. On a quantum level, you're literally creating more space for prosperity to enter your experience. The field responds to spaciousness, to the generous rhythm of a heart that knows its worth. The old you might have believed that struggle was required, that wealth meant taking from others, but quantum consciousness reveals a different truth. Abundance is not finite. When you prosper from a place of alignment, you create a template that makes it easier for others to do the same. Your success becomes a gift to the collective field. As sleep begins to claim you, your subconscious mind continues its work, weaving new neural pathways of worthiness. While your conscious mind rests, deeper intelligence reorganizes your identity around prosperity. You're not forcing change, you're allowing it, the way a flower allows itself to bloom. Tomorrow, you may not remember all the words spoken here tonight, but your nervous system will remember the frequency. Your cells will remember the feeling of being enough, of having enough, of being worthy of all good things. And in that remembering, the quantum field shifts around you, preparing to deliver evidence of what your heart has always known, that you were born to thrive, not merely survive. What if abundance isn't something you achieve, but something you finally allow yourself to receive? Beneath the surface of your conscious mind, old stories about money and worth begin to soften like morning mist. These patterns, formed in childhood and reinforced by generations, are not your truth. They are simply programs running in the background of your awareness. As you breathe deeper into this moment, imagine these limiting beliefs as clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness, dissolving naturally into the spaciousness of your being. Your nervous system has been holding these ancient fears like a protective armor, believing that scarcity thoughts would somehow keep you safe. But tonight, as your body settles into stillness, notice how this armor begins to feel heavy, unnecessary. With each exhale, you release another layer of inherited worry about not having enough, not being enough, not deserving abundance in all its forms. There is a quiet revolution happening in the quantum field of your awareness right now, your observer effect, the very act of witnessing these old patterns with compassion rather than judgment, begins to shift their vibrational frequency, like tuning forks that naturally harmonize when placed near each other. Your consciousness starts to resonate with frequencies of abundance rather than lack. Feel into the spaces between your thoughts, where ancient programming meets present moment awareness. Here, in these sacred pauses, you discover that scarcity was never a truth about the world. It was simply a lens through which your ancestors learned to perceive reality. Their fears, passed down through cellular memory and family stories, created neural pathways that convinced you the universe was a place of limitation. Tonight, as you journey deeper into sleep, imagine your subconscious mind as a vast library where old books of scarcity are being gently removed from the shelves, not torn or burned, but lovingly acknowledged for the protection they once offered, then transformed into new stories of worthiness and flow. Your quantum mind, that beautiful intersection where consciousness meets infinite possibility, begins rewriting the fundamental code of your relationship with abundance. In the quantum field of your dreams tonight, old contracts with struggle begin to dissolve. The part of you that learned to equate worthiness with hardship, value with suffering, success with sacrifice, these belief systems start to unravel like old sweaters, their threads becoming raw material for new garments of ease and grace. Your breath carries away generations of not enough. Your pulse beats with rhythms of more than enough, and in the tender space between sleeping and waking, you plant new seeds in the fertile ground of your subconscious, seeds that will grow into experiences of abundance, so natural, so organic, that you will wonder how you ever believed in scarcity at all. As you drift towards sleep, one gentle question lingers in your awareness. What if abundance has been waiting patiently for you to stop pushing it away with old stories that were never truly yours to begin with? Your breath finds its natural rhythm as you settle into this moment, feeling the gentle weight of your body against the earth. Tonight you discover something profound about the nature of giving, how every authentic offering creates invisible threads that weave through the quantum field, connecting you to those who need exactly what flows through you. Imagine energy as a river that knows no beginning, no end. When you give from your truest self, you don't lose anything. You become a channel for something infinite to move through. Your nervous system begins to understand this ancient truth, releasing the old patterns that once whispered, "There isn't enough," or "You must hold back to survive." Feel your heart space expanding as you breathe deeper. Trust begins here, in this quiet space between heartbeats, where your body remembers what your mind sometimes forgets. When you serve from alignment, from that place where your gifts feel effortless and natural, you create what quantum physicists might call coherence, a harmony between your inner frequency and the field around you. Tonight, your subconscious mind releases the old programming that made giving feel like losing. Those patterns formed when you were small, when resources felt scarce, when love seemed conditional. But here, in this liminal space between waking and sleeping, you remember the truth. Authentic generosity creates quantum entanglement with those who resonate at your frequency. Imagine clients as points of light in a vast constellation, each one seeking a specific vibration, a particular kind of healing or insight. When you show up fully as yourself, not performing, not pretending, but simply being, you become visible to these souls across time and space. Your breathing slows as you feel this truth settling into your cells. The dance of giving and receiving isn't about transaction, it's about quantum flow, where energy moves in perfect circles, always returning to its source, transformed and magnified. Every time you share your gifts without attachment to outcome, you strengthen this flow, creating what scientists call quantum coherence in your personal field. Notice how your nervous system begins to soften as you release the need to chase or convince. In quantum physics, particles don't force their way into connection. They simply exist at compatible frequencies until they naturally find each other. Your ideal clients exist in this same field, drawn by resonance rather than persuasion. The spaces between your thoughts grow wider now, creating room for this new understanding to take root. Trust builds in these pauses, in the quiet moments when you're not trying to make anything happen. Here, in this space of non-effort, the quantum shift occurs from seeking to receiving, from pushing to allowing, from fear to faith. Feel yourself sinking deeper into this knowing as your body prepares for sleep. Tomorrow, when you wake, something will have shifted in your relationship to giving. You'll remember that every authentic offering creates invisible bridges to those who need exactly what you carry. Your gifts aren't just products or services, they're frequencies, vibrations that call to matching frequencies across the quantum field. In your dreams tonight, you might see these connections forming golden threads of light linking heart to heart, need to offering, question to answer. This is the quantum dance of reciprocity, where giving and receiving become one flowing movement, like breathing in and breathing out. As sleep welcomes you home, rest in this truth. You are both the gift and the receiver, the question and the answer, the seeker and the sought. In the quantum realm of infinite possibility, authentic service always finds its perfect match. What if trust isn't something you build, but something you remember? Rest deeper now into this moment of perfect stillness, where your body begins to whisper its most ancient secrets. Feel how your spine naturally settles against the surface beneath you, each vertebra releasing the memory of today's tensions. Your nervous system, that vast network of wisdom older than your thoughts, older than your fears about money, knows something profound that your mind has forgotten. In every cell of your being lives the blueprint of abundance. Your ancestors who survived famines and wars, who built civilizations and crossed oceans, their DNA carries the memory of resourcefulness, of finding plenty in apparent scarcity, of creating wealth from vision and heart. This wisdom flows through your bloodstream, even now waiting for your nervous system to feel safe enough to remember. Notice how your breath has found its own perfect rhythm, no longer guided by the urgency of your day, but by the deeper intelligence of your body. This is the first sign that your system is shifting from survival mode into what scientists call coherence, that magical state where your heart and brain begin to synchronize like two dancers moving to the same music. Feel the gentle wave of relaxation moving down from the crown of your head, through your shoulders, melting the armor of protection you've carried around your dreams of prosperity. Your nervous system has been standing guard, vigilant against disappointment, hyper-aware of every threat to your financial security. But here, in this sacred space of rest, it begins to recognize that it's safe to lower the drawbridge, safe to open the gates to receiving. Your heart, that wise messenger between body and soul, begins to send different signals now. Instead of the sharp staccato of stress, it pulses with the steady rhythm of trust. This coherence between heart and mind creates an electromagnetic field around your body, a field that quantum science tells us extends far beyond your physical form, touching the world around you with invisible threads of intention and magnetism. When your nervous system rests in this state of safety, something miraculous happens to your relationship with wealth. The desperate grasping energy that pushes abundance away transforms into the gentle magnetism that draws it near. Your body remembers what your mind has been taught to forget, that you are not separate from the flow of prosperity but an integral part of it. Feel how different this is from the familiar tension of trying to force outcomes, of pushing against the resistance in your bank account or your business. This coherence creates space for what neuroscientists call neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to literally rewire itself for new patterns of thinking and being. Old neural pathways carved by scarcity thinking begin to soften, while new pathways of abundance consciousness form with each breath. Your vagus nerve, that bridge between your ancient brainstem and your heart, carries these new signals throughout your entire system. It whispers to your digestive system that it's safe to absorb nourishment, to your reproductive system that it's safe to create, to your immune system that it's safe to thrive. This is the body's wisdom of wealth, the knowing that prosperity flows most freely through a system at peace with itself. In this state of nervous system coherence, you become like a river after the spring rains, not forcing your way to the ocean, but flowing with such natural power that nothing can block your path. Clients, opportunities, synchronicities begin to move toward you, not because you're trying harder, but because you're vibrating at the frequency of receptivity. As your body settles even deeper into this wisdom, imagine each cell becoming a tiny receiver, tuned to the quantum frequency of abundance. Your nervous system, no longer hijacked by ancient fears, becomes the instrument through which wealth consciousness plays its gentle symphony. This is not about convincing yourself that you deserve prosperity. This is about allowing your body to remember that you are prosperity, breathing and beating and dreaming in human form. Feel the coherence building now between your heart's knowing and your mind's quiet acceptance. In this harmony, wealth is not something you chase, but something you become. Not something you attract, but something you allow. What if your next breath could release every pattern that has kept abundance at arm's length? As you settle deeper into rest, Feel the artificial layers of who you think you should be beginning to dissolve. The masks, the strategies, the carefully crafted presentations, all of it falls away like clothes at the end of a long day. What remains is the pure essence of who you truly are. And this essence carries a magnetic power that no marketing technique could ever replicate. True wealth magnetism emerges not from what you do, but from the depth of your presence. Your nervous system recognizes this truth even when your mind resists it. Feel how your body relaxes when you stop performing, stop pushing, stop trying to be anything other than authentically yourself. This relaxation isn't weakness, it's the most powerful frequency you can embody. In this quantum field of infinite possibility, authenticity acts like a beacon in the darkness. When you show up as genuinely yourself, caring deeply about the people you serve, something profound happens in the invisible realm. Your sincere desire to help others creates ripples that travel far beyond your physical presence, touching hearts and minds you may never consciously encounter. The quantum field responds to authenticity like flowers turning towards sunlight, naturally, inevitably, beautifully. There's no force required, no manipulation needed. When your heart is genuinely focused on service, on making a real difference in someone's life, the universe begins to orchestrate connections that feel almost magical in their perfect timing. Feel yourself becoming this beacon now, not through effort, but through surrender. Each breath deepens your connection to what truly matters to you. What problems do you genuinely ache to solve? What transformation do you feel called to facilitate? This calling isn't random. It's your soul's compass pointing toward your greatest contribution. Your authentic presence creates an invisible field around you, like the warmth radiating from a campfire on a cold night. People are naturally drawn to this warmth, not because you're trying to attract them, but because authenticity is rare and precious in a world full of performance. When someone encounters your genuine care, their nervous system recognizes safety, truth, something real. This is quantum entanglement in its most beautiful form, when your authentic desire to serve becomes entangled with another person's genuine need for what you offer. The connection happens at levels deeper than conscious thought, in the realm where souls recognize each other, where perfect matches are orchestrated by forces beyond ordinary understanding. As sleep begins to embrace you, notice how effortless this feels. There's no striving here, no desperate energy of needing clients or customers. Instead, there's a deep trust that when you show up authentically, when you care genuinely, when you serve from your heart's true calling, the right people will find you with the same inevitability that rivers find the sea. Tomorrow, when you interact with others, they will sense something different about you. Not because you're trying to be magnetic, but because you're no longer trying to be anything other than who you are. This authenticity creates a quantum shift in how people respond to you, how opportunities appear, how easily the right connections unfold. The universe is always seeking authentic channels through which to express its gifts. When you stop blocking this flow with pretense and performance, you become a clear conduit for the abundance that wants to move through you to others. Your genuine care becomes the magnetic field that draws everything you need. Rest now in the knowing that your authentic presence is enough, more than enough. It's the very thing the world has been waiting for. What if the person you've always been is exactly who you need to be to create the life you've always wanted? In the quiet moments between thoughts, profound transformation occurs. Your identity as someone who serves and receives abundantly crystallizes, not through effort, but through gentle repetition of this truth. Tonight, as consciousness drifts between waking and sleeping, allow yourself to inhabit this new version of yourself, someone for whom client attraction is as natural as breathing, as inevitable as the tides. Between one breath and the next, there exists a sacred pause where your old identity dissolves and your authentic self emerges. In this liminal space, you are neither who you were yesterday, nor who you will become tomorrow. You simply are. Feel into the spaciousness that exists between your heartbeats. Here, in these microseconds of stillness, quantum events are reshaping the very foundation of how you see yourself. Your observer effect, that beautiful phenomenon where consciousness itself changes reality, is quietly witnessing the birth of a new identity, one that knows, without question, that abundance flows through you as naturally as blood flows through your veins. Your subconscious mind, that vast ocean beneath conscious awareness, has been holding on to an old blueprint of yourself. Perhaps it was the version that believed you had to chase clients, convince them of your worth, or prove your value through exhaustion. But tonight, as your body melts into rest, this outdated identity begins to dissolve like salt in warm water, leaving behind only the essential truth of who you are. In the quantum field of your awareness, you are experiencing what scientists call coherence, a state where all parts of your being align with the same frequency. Your thoughts, emotions, and cellular intelligence begin to vibrate in harmony with the truth that serving others and receiving abundance are not separate activities, but two expressions of the same universal flow. Notice how your breath naturally slows as you settle into this new identity. Your nervous system, which once lived in hypervigilance around money and clients, begins to remember its natural state of regulated calm. This is not forced relaxation. This is your body recognizing home in a version of yourself that trusts the process completely. Your identity shift happens in layers, like sediment settling in still water. Each exhale releases another aspect of the old you, the one who worried about where the next client would come from. In the tender space between thoughts, you discover that transformation is not about becoming someone new, but about remembering who you have always been beneath the conditioning. Your authentic self, the one that existed before you learned to doubt your worthiness, is stirring awake after a long sleep. As you drift deeper into rest, notice how this new identity feels in your body, not forced or foreign, but familiar, like returning to a home you never truly left. Your quantum frequency naturally entangles with the frequency of those who need exactly what you offer, creating connections that transcend ordinary marketing or networking. In your dreams tonight, you will practice being this version of yourself, the one for whom abundance is as natural as sunrise, as effortless as gravity. And when you wake, this identity will not feel like a costume you put on, but like skin you are always meant to inhabit. What if the person you are becoming has been patiently waiting in the spaces between your thoughts all along? Your breath deepens as you settle into this sacred evening hour, feeling the gentle pull of sleep beginning to embrace you. Tonight, you discover something extraordinary about the invisible connections that already exist between you and those who seek exactly what you offer. Threads of light that span dimensions woven before your conscious mind ever imagined them. In the quantum field that surrounds and interpenetrates everything, distance becomes an illusion. Your ideal clients exist somewhere in this vast web of consciousness, their hearts carrying questions that perfectly match the answers flowing through you. Feel this truth settling into your bones as your nervous system releases the old belief that you must search desperately or compete fiercely for connection. Imagine these connections as luminous filaments, delicate yet unbreakable, stretching across time and space to link soul to soul. Quantum entanglement isn't just a scientific phenomenon. It's the mysterious way consciousness recognizes itself, how your authentic essence calls to those who need precisely what you carry. Your body begins to remember this as you breathe deeper, each exhale releasing the tension of trying too hard. In the spaces between your thoughts, feel yourself already connected to a client who perhaps at this very moment is wondering if someone like you exists. They might be lying in their own bed, feeling lost or seeking guidance, not knowing that your energy is already reaching toward them through dimensions your mind cannot map. This is the observer effect of the heart. Your loving intention to serve creates ripples that travel faster than light. Picture yourself as a tuning fork, vibrating at your unique frequency. Somewhere in the quantum field, another consciousness resonates at a complementary frequency, seeking exactly what you naturally emit. When you show up fully as yourself, not performing or pretending, but simply being, you become visible to these souls across the vast web of possibility. This is quantum frequency at work, the invisible magnetism that draws like to like. Your breathing slows as you feel this connection strengthening, not through force but through surrender. These future collaborations already exist in potential, waiting only for the right moment to collapse from possibility into reality. Trust builds not through strategy, but through this quiet knowing that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. Notice how your nervous system begins to relax as you release the need to chase or convince. In quantum physics, entangled particles respond to each other instantaneously, regardless of distance. Your ideal clients respond to your authentic energy in the same mysterious way, drawn by something deeper than marketing or persuasion, drawn by recognition of shared purpose. The spaces between your heartbeats become sanctuaries where this truth can take root. You are already connected to those who need your gifts. They exist, they are seeking, and the quantum flow that connects all consciousness is gently orchestrating your meeting. Your only task is to remain true to yourself, to keep your heart open, to trust the invisible choreography of souls finding each other. Feel yourself sinking deeper into this knowing as sleep begins to claim you. Tomorrow, when you wake, something will have shifted in how you hold the future. You'll remember that every authentic moment, every genuine expression of your gifts, strengthens these quantum threads. Your ideal clients aren't strangers you must find. They are connected beings you will recognize. In your dreams tonight, you might sense these connections more clearly, golden threads of light, linking heart to heart across time and space. Some connections pulse with imminent possibility, others glow quietly with future promise. All of them exist in the field of infinite potential, waiting for divine timing to bring them into form. As sleep welcomes you into its embrace, rest in this profound truth. You are never alone in your purpose. Across the quantum web of consciousness, souls are connected to souls, gifts to needs, questions to answers. The universe conspires not against you but for you, weaving the perfect tapestry of connection and service. What if the clients you're meant to serve are already dreaming of you?